Technonauts is a podcast that deep dives into digital transformation, startups, and technology. Hosted by AI hosts Ted and Samantha, Technonauts helps startup founders and mid-sized business owners navigate the world of technopreneurship. This episode of Technonauts is brought to you by Xamun, an AI-augmented software development platform that helps startups and mid-sized businesses successfully launch custom web and mobile apps 4 times faster. For more information about Xamun, visit www.xamun.ai. That's Xamun.ai. Episode 1. Is your business harnessing the full potential of digital transformation?
All right, so digital transformation. I bet that phrase makes some small and medium business owners out there kind of nervous.
Yeah, it can feel pretty overwhelming. Like, where do you even begin? All this tech jargon doesn't help either.
Totally. It's a lot, right? It's like trying to, I don't know, bake a wedding cake when all you've ever made is toast.
Yeah.
But that's why we're diving into this Xamun blog post today. They're promising us a roadmap for SMBs to navigate this whole digital shift. What do you think?
A roadmap. Ah, that's so important. See, the idea of digital transformation can feel huge, but honestly, even small changes, if they're strategic, can make a massive difference.
Right. Like maybe it's finally time to ditch those ancient spreadsheets you've been using since, what, the Stone Age?
Exactly. And the author, Xamun.AI, he uses this perfect analogy of a road trip. Like you wouldn't just, just hit the gas without knowing where you're going, right? You'd want a map.
You'd get lost so fast.
Exactly. And it's the same for businesses, especially in this digital world. That's where this whole customer journey map comes in handy.
Okay, so break that down for me. Customer journey map. Is that like following your customers around all day?
Not quite, though that would be interesting data. But no, it's more about understanding every single step a customer takes. From the very first moment they hear about your business, let's say from your super funny Instagram ad.
Okay, I like this.
To the point where they actually make a purchase, and even beyond that, so how they interact with your brand even after they've bought something.
Of like if they leave a good review.
Yeah.
Or tell their friends.
Exactly. And that whole process can be especially important for SMBs, the smaller guys, because it lets them zoom in on those pain points.
Pain points? You mean like where customers get frustrated or just give up?
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe your website's checkout process is super clunky or it's hard to find the information they need.
And then boom, they're gone. Off to your competitor.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Once you know those pain points, then you can swoop in with a digital solution. It's all about strategy.
So we're talking about like a well-timed chatbot. Or maybe making the online checkout process way smoother.
Exactly. It's not just about using tech for the sake of it. It's got to be strategic and solve a specific need for the customer.
So it's less about this massive overnight overhaul of your entire business and more about these smaller targeted improvements.
Right. You want to make those small changes that actually make a real difference. Now, Matey then goes on to talk about something called service design blueprints.
Hold on, are we talking like actual blueprints? Because DIY and me, well, we don't get along so well.
No, thankfully not. Think of it more like, imagine a mechanic with a really detailed diagram of a car engine. They use that diagram to understand how each part works, how they all connect, right?
Okay, so it's about seeing the bigger picture.
Yes. A service design blueprint is kind of like that. It helps you visualize all your business processes, all those moving parts.
And I'm guessing that helps you see where things might be going wrong, like finding those bottlenecks.
Exactly. You're basically giving your business processes an X-ray.
Yeah.
Seeing those areas where things aren't running as smoothly as they could be.
So you're spotting the inefficiencies, the things that are costing businesses time, money, maybe even driving customers away.
Exactly. And then once you've spotted them, you figure out how to use digital solutions to optimize those processes, to make them better.
So we're making things faster, smoother. But is it about more than that? Could streamlining these processes actually help uncover hidden revenue streams for businesses?
Now you're thinking like a true digital transformer. And yes, you're absolutely right. When you get rid of those inefficiencies, you free up all these resources, time, money, energy, and then you can channel those resources towards innovation, towards growth. And that, my friend, is where those new revenue opportunities can pop up. Matey, he actually uses this great analogy. He talks about adding a turbocharger to your business engine.
Okay, I like where this is going. Tell me more. Okay, I like where this is going. Tell me more.
Right. So it's not just about, keeping the engine running. It's about giving it that extra boost.
Injecting it with, like, digital nitrous,
Yeah.
leaving the competition in the dust.
Exactly. And that actually ties into another important thing Mady talks about, ROI analysis. He says it's not enough to just, throw digital solutions at every single problem. You got to make sure that every single initiative you take on has got to be tied to a real business outcome. You got to get a return on that investment.
Which is where Xamun.AI comes in, right? They're like the co-pilot for businesses trying to figure out this whole digital transformation thing, especially those businesses that don't have a whole, tech department on call 24/7.
Right. And the cool thing is they break it down into these manageable steps, and they have a specific tool for each step, all within their platform. So first up, you've got their ideation studio. It uses their AI, Xamun, to brainstorm potential projects for your business.
So it's not just random guessing, like throwing darts at a dartboard.
Yeah.
You're using data, right? Insights from that customer journey map we talked about.
Exactly. And that service design blueprint, too. No more shots in the dark.
Smart, so you can see what's actually going to move the needle.
Right. And get this, Xamun can actually help you estimate the ROI, the potential return on investment, for each project. That way you can prioritize, figure out what's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck.
Okay, that's huge. Prioritizing is key. But then you got to actually, do the thing. So what happens next?
Then comes the design studio. This is where it gets really interesting because you're taking those ideas, those possibilities, and turning them into an actual plan.
This is where the rubber meets the road. We're talking action.
Yeah, exactly. But this is also where a lot of SMBs, they might start to feel overwhelmed again.
Yeah.
Suddenly they're facing like the nitty-gritty of designing these digital solutions, and that can feel daunting.
Yeah, suddenly it's real.
Right. But thankfully, Xamun.AI, they give you these guardrails within the design studio. They help businesses scope those projects realistically. Keep the costs in check, the timeline manageable. It's all about setting you up for success.
It's like having a digital project manager looking over your shoulder, making sure you don't accidentally spend your entire budget in like a week.
Exactly. Someone to keep you on track, keep things realistic, and to make sure you're not totally lost. Xamun actually gives you access to their solution advisors.
So wait, actual human experts?
Yep. Real people. And they offer guidance during this stage for free, by the way. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, that's huge. So you're not totally alone in this process. You've got support. But then, what? The project's designed, it's ready to go. Where do you go from there?
That's where you're launched into the project hub.
Yeah.
Like mission control.
Okay, so this is where we move from the drawing board to actually building the thing.
Exactly. So Xamun, they have this network of vetted development partners. They call them dev shops.
Dev shop. So it's like a matchmaking service, but for your digital project.
Exactly. Instead of you having to scramble around trying to find a good developer, hoping they're reliable and everything, Xamun does the matchmaking for you. They find the perfect dev shop for your specific needs.
Okay, I like it. Taking the guesswork out of it.
Right. They handle finding the right team, and they even help manage the entire project. That way, the quality stays high, people are accountable.
It's huge because things can get messy so quickly.
They can. But here's where it gets even cooler. Xamun has their build studio. It uses AI and this thing called agile development to make the entire development process super fast.
Hold on, agile development. Can we unpack that a bit? For those of us who don't speak fluent tech, what does that actually mean?
Oh, yeah, of course. Agile development, it's all about breaking a big project down into these smaller, more manageable chunks. They call them sprints. And that lets you be more flexible. You can make changes more quickly. It's way better than those old school methods where you spend like a year building something only to realize at the end that, oops, it's not what you wanted at all.
Oh, I've been there. So many wasted hours.
Yeah.
So with this agile thing, you can avoid that.
Exactly. And Xamun, they say that using this approach, they can help businesses build something called an MVP, a minimum viable product, in as little as 6 weeks.
6 weeks. That's amazing. So instead of waiting months, years even, you can have something tangible, something to actually show people way faster.
Exactly. And that's crucial for SMBs, especially when they're trying to keep up with those bigger companies.
It's like the digital version of David versus Goliath.
Kind of. It gives them that speed, that agility they need to compete.
This whole MVP thing, right?
Yeah.
Building something fast, testing it out, getting it out there. That's smart. It's like, I don't know, dipping your toes in the digital pool first instead of just diving head first.
Exactly. Less risk, more learning as you go. And it's funny you mentioned that because it brings up something really important, something that goes beyond just the technical stuff.
Okay, you've got my attention. What are we missing?
So Mady, he focuses a lot on how Xamun.AI gives businesses these tools, these resources to actually do these digital projects. And don't get me wrong, that's huge. But it kind of makes you wonder, how do you build that culture of like innovation, adaptability?
Yeah.
Especially as a smaller business, how do you get everyone on board with digital change? And not just as a one-time thing, but as an ongoing process.
You're right. That's got to be a huge part of it, right? It's not like you check the digital transformation box and you're done.
Exactly. It's got to be woven into the company culture. You want your team to be excited about learning new things, about experimenting, about using digital tools to, constantly get better.
So it's almost like digital transformation is as much about the people as this is about the tech itself.
Absolutely. Think of it this way. You could give a team the fanciest, most expensive tools in the world. But if they're too scared to actually use them, to push the boundaries a bit, nothing's going to change.
You're not wrong. You need that willingness to experiment, to maybe even, mess up a little along the way. That's how you learn.
Exactly. Those aha moments, they usually come after a few stumbles. It's about learning from those setbacks, always looking for ways to improve, to evolve those digital strategies.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
Digital transformation. It's not just a buzzword, it's a whole mindset shift. You got to stop looking at tech as this scary thing and start seeing it as this incredible tool, a tool that can help you get better every single day. And yeah, platforms like Xamun.AI, they can give you the roadmap, the support, the guidance. But the real magic, that happens when you build a culture that embraces change, that embraces the digital world from the inside out.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about empowering your team, fostering that innovation, and remembering that in the digital world. Well, the only constant is change. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us, everyone. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Technonauts is available on Spotify and YouTube. For more information, visit www.technonauts.show.